Hi, everybody. You're listening to Business Lunch. This is a podcast for anyone who wants to not think about work while thinking about work. We discuss some of the biggest issues facing the wide world of business management today. And also, we talk about lunch. Welcome to episode 6. This episode is called How to Take a Sick Day and When. So let me frame this topic for everybody. You're sick. You think you should go to work. Scratch that. You have to go to work. Things must get done right now, and they cannot get done without you. Or can they? So in this episode, we're going to discuss the ins and outs of taking sick days. Should we be taking them? Why should we be taking them? When should we be taking them? All that good stuff. And we're going to tell you how to take a sick day. And also, because this is Business Lunch and we talk about food, maybe this is a kind of obvious theme. Will already guessed it. We're going to talk about our favorite foods to eat while we're sick. And there's no nothing answer to this question. Just to tell you guys, you're going to have to, you're going to have to answer. I mean, some people don't want to eat when they're sick too bad. We've got to come up with something.
Oh, no, that's not the problem. I eat no matter what.
Okay, good. Then I'll expect some good answers. All right, let's get started then. So here's my first question. I'm just going to kind of go right for it, and you interpret this however you want. How sick is too sick to work? And let's not get too graphic here, but but how sick is too sick, guys?
I mean, I think the first one is, are you too sick to show up to work, or then are you too sick to work from home? In my opinion, if you're too sick to show up to work, means you're communicable and you can give it to someone else. That's, I think, one of the first and foremost things. And then as far as if you're not communicable but still under the weather, for whatever reason that might be, it's, are you going to be effective at your job? Are you going to be effective at what you're doing? Now, if you're not going to be effective at the office, stay home and be at least moderately effective and work from home. But if you're so bad that you can't even do that, then you take the time off.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, if you can't come in, I would say if you can't come in most cases, don't work if you can. Get rest, recuperate, and get better. Take the time to do that. So there's different levels, right? So just because you get a little sick or you're feeling sick, that's not always, it's different for everybody. Let's
Absolutely
put it that way. It's different for everybody. If I'm feeling a little down. Now, I will say that I'm a big baby when I get sick. When I'm a baby, I get sick. I just want to lay down, cuddle up, and do nothing and just sleep and get better. That's usually how it is when I get sick. So for me, having a team around me that can support that is great. And so our culture is great here, right? So we do that very well. But not everybody lives in or works in the same culture that we work in, where it's, you're on your own, you have your pile of work. We're able to kind of pick each other up when somebody's got to do something, go visit a family member, you're sick, whatever the case may be. So in our world, it's great. I think we have that luxury of saying, I'm going to take the day off, I'm going to lay down, and I'm going to recuperate because I know, somebody's got my back along the way. So if you have that, take the time off. If you don't, you're going to have to kind of manipulate that and figure that out on your own. But for me, it's best just to lay down and recuperate.
So I think that this is great advice. Why don't most people take it?
Fear.
Fear of, hey, the first one is, do they even have the ability to take sick time? Do they have the time off? Are they going to get penalized? Are they going to get paid? I mean, that's, right. I think one of the first and foremost is, can they financially or, be able to take the sick day? That's, I think, the one of the biggest ones.
That's right. I mean, I think you make a huge point. Right?
Yeah. And then the second reason is, for me is, I have enough sick time built up, but I always see this, for every sick day that I have, that's me not being at work when I'm feeling like crap. Would it make more sense for me to want to not be at work while at the beach? So I try to save up my sick time and use it for vacation time, because I'd rather be off and enjoying myself, not be off and feeling crappy.
Yeah. Well, that's the blend, though. It's no longer really sick time, right? It's not necessarily sick time. Right?
It's personal time.
It's personal, right. So if you have that blend, you can do that. But if you don't, and there's specifically called sick time, and your vacation time, then you maybe have a different issue. Yeah, I think it's fear. It's fear of the work that's there. Number one, it's a fear of people not believing that you're sick. I mean, I've people have done that when they're like, I thought people wouldn't believe I was sick. Of course, we were going to believe you're sick if you say you're sick, but not everybody feels that level of comfort, and that's about a culture.
Oh,
that's absolutely a culture. So if you're in that culture and environment, I recommend that you find a better culture. That'd be my recommendation, because I mean, if you're sick and there's no reason for us not to doubt you, yet you feel like you're doubt, that means you're not comfortable, and you're maybe not in a healthy work environment. Quite frankly, that'd be my point.
Yeah, and you also have the things like, the whole concept of the mental health day, which is starting to become more of a thing lately.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone took in the past as being, playing hooky or whatever the case may be. But there's like a lot of value to the whole concept. Like, there's just some days where you've had bad weeks, several things happen, you just need a reset. The weekend's not going to help because, let's be real, you have a lot of personal things to do on the weekend anyway. Yep. So you just need one day to reset.
Yep.
And you can't tell people, I'm sick.
Right.
That doesn't work. But then again, you can't say, look, I just need a day off.
Yeah. Well, the blend of that takes that away, right? It doesn't matter why you're off. You get to take off, and you don't have to come in and try to convince somebody you're sick, or that you are going for all these reasons, or even
you need a doctor's note.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, remember those things?
They're
personal days. You have them, and you're allowed to use them whenever you need to use them, whether you're sick or whether somebody else in your family is sick, or you got to go visit somebody for whatever reason, a good friend. You can use them. So yeah, I mean.
So Jim, I want to follow up with you on something you said, because I think it's interesting. So a couple of weeks ago, the New York Times published an article called "The Death of the Sick Day," and in this article, they write about how working from home has been replaced. Has replaced days spent like recovering, that idea is, and I'm going back to this idea because you are sick, you are actually sick, and you're home, yet you have your laptop with you, and those emails are coming in, right? So you said, when I'm sick, I like to just curl up, right? Mm-hmm. Turn on the TV or whatever.
Yep.
What do you think the reality is for most people? Do you think they end up opening up their computer and answering the email?
Yeah, so I said I like to do that. That doesn't mean I get to do that.
That's the answer I was trying to get out of you.
That doesn't mean I get to do that. But, it's depending on the level of sickness that I am, right? So if I feel like I'm contagious, I don't want to go in and get other people sick. We work in some pretty close quarters, and people in the open office here, right, where everybody kind of sits around one another. You're not in your own little silo. I don't like to get people sick. So if I'm okay to work at home, like it's a certain different level of sickness, I would do it. But when I'm sick, that's where when I'm really feeling like I'm run down and just, tired, exhausted, I'll lay down. But yeah, I would agree. While that's the practice I like to do, the reality is, a lot of times I'm up looking at email, or I have my phone in bed, and you roll over and you open up your phone, check an email, type something back. You kind of want to be responsive. You do have responsibilities. You don't want anything to slip. You trust your coworkers, but occasionally there's going to be something that's going to be asked of you, and I'll respond. But just depending on the level of sickness, I may not get up and open my computer and start working, right? So that's, to me, is working, where you're up, you're sick, but you're working most of the day, 6-7 hours out of the day. You're putting in time. That is what I try to avoid when I'm sick, though. So.
It also depends, again, like how sick are you? Is it something that's fogging your brain and that's preventing you from actually being able to focus on your work?
Yep.
Are you going to do more harm than good even? Because in that case, you can actually do more harm in answering things incorrectly or inappropriately versus not answering at all, or saying, hey, I'm out today, I'll respond tomorrow.
Yeah.
Things like that. That's when you should just stay home, put the computer down, put up your out of office message, whatever the case may be. Now, if you have other things that say, I don't know, anything between stomach issues or pain or whatever the case may be, that's something where you're probably more able to respond as needed.
But the funny thing is, I think 95% of the time, anything that you get comes in can wait.
Oh yeah, without
I'm going to say there's no reason you need to get up and do it right away. 95% of the time.
Or you can forward it to someone who can take care of it for you.
That's correct. Or if you got a good out of office message on who to contact, that'll be taken care of. You've got good teammates, that'll take care of itself. So the reality is, almost all that stuff, if not all of it, can wait.
Yeah,
it can actually wait for you to be better, right? Get better. That's the most important thing at the end of the day.
And sometimes you just need to tell yourself that. I think this is actually really good advice, because we did promise the people that we could tell them how to take a sick day, right? So I think we've definitely covered how to take it. Yeah, this is great advice. I mean, my advice to myself, and I have a lot of trouble with this. I will work no matter what, no matter when. And I need to be physically removed from any electronic device. If it's on my phone, I'm going to check my work email. I check my work email at 3 a.m. when I wake up. I just do it. It's such a bad idea, and I know it is, but I do it. And so I need someone to pry my phone out of my hand. I need to make sure that my laptop is nowhere near me. And you know, in this case, I'm probably sick enough that I'm not physically able to get up and do anything. But I need someone, you know, to hide that stuff from me. Take it to work with them so I don't actually have any access to it. And all I can do is watch reruns of Seinfeld or something like that. You know, that's probably the best thing for me.
What do you think about the fact that we as people need to do it? Like we need to feel needed, right? So think about that, right? You're home all day, and if nobody reaches out and you get no emails, you're like, well, I'm irrelevant.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe people look at it from that perspective. You know,
I had to work today.
I feel irrelevant, right?
Right.
I feel irrelevant if nobody reaches out to me or wants or needs me for anything. I need to feel needed.
Yeah.
So you engage. So that might be something somebody does.
And I think it's a reminder too that you want life to go on as normal, right? You're sick and it doesn't feel good. And so you're used to working and you're used to being productive. And so you want to kind of continue that, just to say like, oh, I don't want to acknowledge how bad I feel, because that's the only other alternative.
But then you also have the fact that you realize, for the people that actually do have work coming in, not everyone wants to have to spend 16 hours tomorrow solving the 8-hour problems today.
Right.
So some people might take a few things from today so they don't have to, you know, the low-hanging fruit,
right,
or the critical things, getting these resolved, and then we'll just deal with the rest tomorrow or the next day.
And so you deal with all of that, and you're assuming you're going to be in tomorrow.
Yes.
Instead of resting, you're doing that.
Yes.
And now that's cost you another day.
Absolutely.
So now your 8 goes to 8 more, and it just continues to go.
So assess how sick you are. Step 1. Step 2, if you need to take off, take off. Step 3, if you can answer some emails and maybe kind of get a little bit done and still feel okay, then do that. Step, what am I on, 5? 4? Step 4. See, I shouldn't have come in when I was 6. See, this is what happens. Step next one. If you are really sick, for goodness sake, get yourself to the doctor.
Yeah.
And
don't bring it to anyone else.
So far, nobody said go to the doctor.
We are not. We are not medical
I
practitioners
got
here.
my ginger root and my candles.
Yeah, I don't know too much, but I do know that if you're really sick, get yourself to the doctor. Okay, we're gonna end this episode with our food question. So I'm gonna put it out to you guys. What's your favorite food to eat while you're sick?
Woo, chicken noodle. Hold on. Campbell's chicken noodle soup, the original, not the new fancy.
Maybe real chicken,
grilled cheese sandwich. My mom used to make it. Let me tell you, that's still my staple today when I'm sick. Grilled cheese.
You know what? It's funny. I actually don't have one. I think the closest I can probably get is like tortilla chips, and that's only because that's probably one of the more effective things for if you have a sore throat or coughing. All that salt feels good, and you know that helps with that. Or if you have a stomach problem, that's something that's soft on your stomach too. and plenty of carbs for energy and salt like that. I didn't really have something that helps me out. But I think that's probably the best thing I can think of.
I think for me it's pretty similar. Saltines and ginger ale work really well. I actually like when I get to the point where I can actually start to stomach a little bit of food and I feel better and not worse. And I'm like, all right, now I'm rolling. Though I do feel similarly to you, Jim. My grandmother's chicken soup definitely made a big impact on my health, and I haven't had it in 25 years, but still it's that comforting thing. Yeah. So once again, we are not medical practitioners. We cannot tell you the right foods to eat when you're sick. We hope you figured that one out. If not, well, I don't know, write to us and we'll help you out there on a personal level. We'll do consults or something like that. And that actually reminds me, please make sure to subscribe to our feed. Make sure you like our episodes and check us out at businessbymiles.com. And we'll look forward to seeing you next time. And stay healthy out there, everyone.
All right. See you, everybody.
Have a good one.